Hello children. Today we are going to see again the chapter number 1, that is revision. I think so last video I started revision and you have to follow that revision. Many of the students not understand earlier modules, so please now with the revision, with the help of revision you can understand the topic. Right, our topic is resource as you know, and subtopic is type of resources. In last last videos I discussed about the types of resources, natural resources, even human made resource and human resource, right? This is a revision what I am teaching you children, and you have to keep your notebook and pencil, open your textbook in front of you, by that you can write the points. It will be easy for you and you will get all the revision, right? And few of the things what I have made last time I have taught you on the board. Now I am going to show you PPT. With the help of PPT you can understand well. Okay, right. Let me start with the PPTs. By that you will understand easily. Those children not understood earlier, they can follow this PPT. I think so this is the best way you can understand the concept. We were talking about natural resource, and natural resource is classified into origin, stock and distribution. So in that classification of origin you can find biotic resource and abiotic resource. Now abiotic resource and biotic resource, so I think so you are studying from 4th standard this thing, but still we will recall. Abiotic resource are non-living like soil, rock and minerals, and biotic resource are plants and animals, right? So I don't think so you require more information regarding this. By that you will I think so you easily understood. Then again the classification of natural resources on the basis of stock. So when I'm telling stock means that should be there, right? So there is again classification with the stock is renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Now let me tell you about renewable resource and non-renewable resource. See, many of the children make a lot of mistake in this renewable and non-renewable. They get confused. So please try to understand it. Renewable resource are those which get renewed or replenished quickly, such as solar and wind energy. That means they are renewable, they can be easily we get easily, quickly we can get it. But non-renewable resource are those who having limited stock. Once these stocks are exhausted, it takes thousands of years to renewed or to replenished. So actually here I can give you the example of here is wind and solar, and here I can give you petroleum. Non-renewable is petroleum, coal. It's take a thousands of years to renewed, and if you can find it, since this period is much more than the human lifespan, this must take thousands years it's to take to renew again. So this is about non-renewable resource. Then we classify the natural resource on the basis of distribution of resources. Now in that again there are two classification, like ubiquitous resource and localized resource. Now ubiquitous means it is about all, everywhere, you can say, like God is everywhere, like this. The resource are found everywhere, like a breathe, we breathe, but we can find everywhere. Air you can find everywhere. Even one example I can give you, the God is everywhere, so that is also. And localized resource, this resource are found only the certain places are localized, like copper, iron, ore. You can't say that uranium is in most part of the Maharashtra. You can't say, because it is not localized, no? Localized resource means when uranium you can find in Ladakh, or uranium you will find in Tamil Nadu. So that means there is localized, or I can say coal is found in Maharashtra. So these are the example, localized and ubiquitous resources. Then we'll discuss about now how this is natural resources as distribution. So the distribution of the natural resource are depend upon the number of physical factors like terrain, climate and altitude. Suppose at the high of the mountain there is also, you can find there is different type of minerals or resources you can find, where the climate, as per the climate there are the resources. So the distribution are depend on the number of physical factors. Now distribution of resources are unequal because these factors are differ so much over the earth. Somewhere plateau, somewhere plain, somewhere you can find more of the sea, or you can find every type of the climate is changed, every type of terrain means topography is changed. So you will find different natural resources. So there is unequal, as well as this points, 2 points must be remember, that unequal as well as physical factor. These two things are the distribution of natural resources can be done. Now we will put some light on human made resource. What is human made resource? The word it's also tell you the meaning of that, human made resource. So natural substance become resource only when their original form has been changed, or iron ore was not a resource until the people learned to extract iron from it. Suppose you can say like this, suppose a coal mines are there, but you don't know how to use the coal, so there is no need of that. So human find out the excretion, what you call extracted, as well as human for find to come implement all these things from the natural resources. So it is a human made resource. So iron ore, the iron is using, so iron ore was not only the not resource until the person are not using it. So people use natural resource to make the buildings, roads, etc., which known as a human made resource. Without building we can't make a building without iron, we can't make a road without iron, or without cement, or without tar. So these are the resources, but when we are using is a human made resource, and by that natural resource we are using, and we are making that use of that resource, right? I hope you are understanding. So for that the most valuable thing on this earth is human resource, only human. So human is, you can see when we are working as a teacher, so we are also resource, we are providing you this education, so this is a resource. And if you go for the education, you give for technology, the computer making data, people are also resource. So this is also, that means human is very important resource. Improving the quality of the people's skills so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. So when we are improving with the skills, so that means we are a very good human resource and for the development. Here one example in your textbook, one it is given on page number, here page number I can't find out because my PPT I don't written here. So here one example, crops ruined due to the drought, can I find the solution? That it is, so it is all thanks to the knowledge of education and skill we could be finding a solution. So the farmer are telling like this, the crops drought in condition, what the crops to be done, or if more rainfall, what to be do. Nowadays a lot of technology has increased for the, especially for the farmers, to check the seeds or to check the what you call one quality of a land. There is lot of technology now, it is on the with the way of the computer. So this is knowledge is increased and technology also increased. See how the human become an important resource, right? So this is about your resource, all three types of resources, and further we will talk about the conservation of resources. That is, I think, so very interesting. That is actually the main thing to understand, right? Now here one example we can solve it out. I think so you can do this very well. A renewable resource and non-renewable resource, you have to distinguish between these two, natural resource and human resource. Please do this one type of exercise I am giving you. by this 2-3 modules you can understand it. Then one activity also we will I would like to tell you. Do this activity please. Let's do this activity. Think about the few renewable resources and mention how their stock may be get affected to overuse. Think about renewable resources and make it like this, and make it write down these points. Please do this, because when you do then only your mind will work more and you will think more, right? When you're not doing, only understanding, it's not a story, you have to implement all these things what we are doing, then and the study can be complete. I know it is very difficult with the without teacher, or but still we are with you always anyway. And make a list of the 5 human made resources that you can observe around us. So that is also you can do easily. I know this one, second one is so easy, you can do it, right? And this is our revision what I completed of this one. Now next topic with the next way, next style we can do. We'll not do with PPT, we'll go for different style. Okay children. Okay, thank you and God bless you.